We need to talk about free stuff. Today is the New York City mayor's race, and it looks like Zoran Mamdani is going to win. And the establishment, both parties, is losing their absolute minds, pretending that's going to start some era of socialism and the end of the free market in the United States. One of my favorite arguments is people who say, I don't want to give away free stuff to people. Well, as it turns out, we give away free stuff, just not to the people you're thinking about. First of all, let's take a look at this. Who profits from Medicaid? Employers like Walmart and Amazon, many of whose workers rely on the program. If they have a full-time job and they're still required to get SNAP benefits or Medicaid, then that means that their employers aren't paying them enough. So we're subsidizing profits for big corporations by allowing these programs to exist for people who are full-time workers and not demanding that those full-time workers get full-time pay. Here's another article from ProPublica from back in 2022. The secret IRS files, trove of never-before-seen records, reveal how the wealthiest avoid income tax. One often misunderstood fact about how the tax code works is that we have allowed a system by which corporate executives can take their pay in stock options, and that's not taxed as normal income. They can borrow against those stock options, spend that money, and it's a loan, so it doesn't count as income. So this article looks at tax rates from 2014 to 2018 for some of the wealthiest people. Warren Buffett paid 0.1% as his total tax rate in that period. So that's free stuff to people. Here's more free stuff. In the One Big Beautiful Bill, Trump's tax cuts reduced tax burden on billionaires by $77 billion. But we're not done yet. $22 billion for Israel. And how much aid has been sent to Ukraine? $175 billion. Not to be outdone, the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent got $40 billion to bail out Argentina. Funny enough, he has friends who were invested heavily in Argentina, and if that bailout hadn't happened, they would have lost a lot of money. Free stuff, but for different people. And here's a quote from over 100 years ago from Theodore Roosevelt. The great corporations, which we have grown to speak of rather loosely as trusts, are the creatures of the state, and the state not only has the right to control them, but it is duty-bound to control them wherever the need of such control is shown. I think we might be there. And funny enough, if you look back to 1912, the Progressive Party, which Theodore Roosevelt formed and ran in, unfortunately he lost. If you read this platform, you could run on this exact platform today because a lot of these fights that they were fighting for over 100 years ago, we still haven't won, or we made ground and we're losing it. So yeah, if your argument is, I don't want my taxes to give free stuff to people, maybe you should really be thinking about where your money is really going. When we have a $38 trillion national debt, the stock market is at record highs, and people are putting necessities on credit cards, that might be socialism for the rich. If you have any questions about this, let me know. Other than that, have a great day.